Welcome to the Full Octane Garage, and today we're going to tackle a DIY project that the dealer was going to charge a bunch of money for, and we decided that we were going to save a bunch of money. Welcome to the Full Octane Garage. Today we're going to tackle a DIY project that most people can do and save a bunch of money. We took the car to the dealer for some recall items, and also we had a couple of electrical gremlins starting to happen where when you close the door or open the door, the window comes down just a bit. When you close the door, it should go all the way back up. We're finding that it's not going all the way back up, and also we're finding after it sits for about a week, it has some pretty slow starts. So the dealer said the battery's 8 years old and it should be replaced. I asked how much that would take to replace, and they said it was $588 installed, and I got to thinking that's an awful lot of money for a battery. So I came back home and I did some searching on the internet, and I found some batteries that were as low as $150. This uses an AGM battery, which is basically a glass matte battery and not a lead acid battery. So it's a totally sealed battery. The cheaper batteries you want to be really careful on. The cheaper batteries are lead acid, and they have to be vented. So this car does not have a provision for venting. You can make a provision for venting, drill a hole, run it out, but we're going to replace it with an original style battery. This battery we found for $214. There's some other sources that you can shop around. I'll have some links in Amazon. It was about $230 if you want it delivered to you with no core charge. Mine was $214 with an $18 core charge, so you're going to be pretty much even either way. So what we're going to do is we're going to tackle this. It takes about a half hour to do, is my understanding.
Whenever you're working around these cars and there's a painted surface, it's okay to take your wedding ring off. Right, Debbie? Debbie?
Yes.
Okay, there you go.
I don't wear mine around the cars anyway, so.
At least while you're out driving by yourself.
Yeah, definitely when I'm not driving by myself.
Okay, these are the tools you're going to need to tackle this job. You're going to need a 10mm socket, you're going to need an 11mm socket, and a 13mm socket with an assortment of extensions and ratchets. Additionally, you're going to need a T30 Torx. I have seen on other applications and other videos where people have used a T20, so you may need a T20 with an extension, a small ratchet. A battery terminal post cleaner is very handy. A Ziploc bag or two to wrap the positive battery terminal in so it doesn't short. And also what we did was we elected to lift the battery out with some additional leverage. We took a board that's about 19 inches long, 4 inches wide, and 1 inch thick, and we slid it through the battery so that it could become a two-people operation removing the battery. It's a whole lot easier. This thing, the smaller battery weighs about 48 pounds. The newer battery, which is much wider, weighs somewhere in the 58-pound range. So that's handy. And then additionally, if you have big hands like me, you're going to need a Band-Aid or two because you will get scratched up. So let's get right to it. One more important thing you're going to need is your battery tender. You plug it in your cigarette lighter, power it on, and that's going to ensure that you don't lose your memory. And we'll also have a Ziploc bag to wrap around your positive terminal so it doesn't catch any ground and short this guy out. So the very first thing we're going to tackle is we're going to be removing this protective cover, and there's some handholds here. You actually pull it out from the lip, and this thing comes out quite easily. We'll clean that guy up a little bit before we put it back in. Set this aside. Okay, the first step in this is going to be to remove the toolkit for the tires. This comes up. We can take the toolkit out, which I've never had. This is actually a pump. Okay, so now we're going to take our Torx T30 and we're going to remove the storage box. Fortunately, we have a place to put screws in the frunk. And there's got to be one more.
not one in the bottom.
Nope, it just snaps out. Now we're going to remove the battery support bracket. There should be one up there, which I believe should be the 13 millimeter. Okay. Okay, you got to be careful not to drop this nut down in here. You have to have some tiny girlish hands, which I don't have, but I think we're going to make it. This is comedy hour, right? Okay, woohoo, we made it. Okay, and then we have one bolt holding the battery in, and it looks like the battery I have purchased is wider than this battery, and I believe that there's a secondary screw in here to accommodate the larger battery. So we've got that. Now we're going to go back to our 11 millimeter socket and take the ground off. Well, maybe that's the 10. Let's try the 11. Nope.
I don't think it was getting to the bottom.
Oh, you might be right. Yeah, here we go. We'll get it this way. So we'll do the 10 on the other one. Okay. Ziploc bag.
I like this idea. This is a lot better than my holding it away and cringing.
So we'll just wrap that guy up pretty good so it doesn't hit any grounds, which should be good. Now figuring out how to get this negative off. There we go. Okay, now the battery is heavy. So what we're going to do is try something a little bit different. Okay, so we're going to take our board and we're going to slide it through the pickup handles. Do you want to grab this side? It's not as far of a reach for you. I'm a little taller. And then we'll and then what we'll do is just, no, you don't have to worry about keeping it level. We'll just lift it out.
Oh yeah.
Now drop it on the car.
Are we going my way?
Set it down.
Okay.
All right. So that worked good.
Yep.
So now what we'll have to do is
set the other one in it.
Set the other one in it. Good? Yep. Okay.
Probably adjust it better with the board.
Hold that up. Hold that up. There we go. And then I can lift it up.
Sounds good. Nice and solid. Make sure the brackets.
Well, I want to try that. There we go. That fixed the clicking. All right. Yeah, so it has a secondary hole for the larger battery so that the bracket will take a smaller or a larger battery. What did I do with my key? Okay, now we're going to see if the car starts.
Porsche. Lights quit blinking.
You know, the flasher switch was turned on, which is really weird. It just automatically turned on when it was low, so that must have been what it was freaking out about. So now we will put our support brackets back in. So Deb, how long are we at now?
11 minutes and 15 seconds.
Ooh. So this is not going to be a 30-minute project, unless I drop this nut.
And it'll be an hour.
It'll be about 2 minutes.
What nut is that you want to be careful not to drop?
This is the nut that I definitely don't want to drop. This is the one that holds the battery strap in. That you need to have tiny girlish hands, and I've actually nicked mine, so this will be a less than 30-minute project and a Band-Aid. Now we're going to do in reverse order. We're going to go ahead and put this carry container back in. Let me get from this side. Ah, good. It helps. There we go. Yep, perfect. Good to know this is in here. Did not have a clue. All right, let's try this again. Ah, there we go. I did it backwards before. All right, I'm gonna grab that piece of plastic there and we'll snap it back in. Slide it underneath, kind of in that yellow. There you go. And then all we do is lift this little rubber piece.
Goes under the gasket.
Yeah, it goes under the gasket. Here, let me start it from my side. There we go. Oh, it's almost there.
There it is.
Okay. We've successfully completed a battery change in
14 minutes, 33 seconds.
less than 15 minutes. You can save $374 just like we did. Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, this project is probably a 1.2. This is not a very hard project for all of you to tackle. Very simple tools. You can get the batteries on Amazon delivered to your door. We'll have some links below for that. We love our Porsche dealer to death. There's some things we're very competitive on. There's some things you really need to take it to them for. But I honestly feel that the battery at a $374 savings is one of those things that I'm willing to tackle myself. I did not lose any of the memory, though it did make a little bit of noise being on battery tender. Heard a couple of relays beeping, but I did not have to reset anything. All of my radio station presets seem to be intact. Car started right up, so I think we're really good with this. Again, 15-minute project. save $374. I'd take that all day long. So thanks for being with us. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have some ideas on some other videos to work on the 991s, let us know. We'll see if we can tackle those.